So I've been on Twitter for a while. X now it is called X. And I follow a lot of people. A lot of the people I follow are people who have good ideas when it comes to health and food and exercise, things like that. And something I have seen over and over again, and it's gotten to a point of frustration that I'm making a video on it. A number of people I follow. And there's people who are carnivores. There are people who are vegans. I mean, there's just some people who give good advice, and eat the meat, spit out the bones. So I like listening to a lot of people as long as they, go down a certain flow that I like when it comes to the information and things they share. But like some of these people, it's gotten to a point I'm very, very frustrated. And with the world that we're living in today, guys, I'm sure you saw the news. They have launched. We are. The first time an ICBM has been launched in the history of combat was just the other day, and it was a multiple impact reentry vehicle ICBM, a true ICBM.
What is all that stuff?
I don't know. They're trajectory headings for multiple impact reentry vehicles.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's great.
One of the 80s best movies of all time.
Shall we play a game?
So that's where we're at today. We're at a point where we're actually looking and hearing news about ICBMs in the atmosphere coming down, whether they're inert or not. This one seems to be inert, but it was to send a message that, hey, we can do this. We can launch them. We can land them. They are real, and we're not afraid to use them. We know how to push the button. It's like we're in a place that's even beyond what the Cuban Missile Crisis was. And so I see a lot of these guys on Twitter and these carnivores and these vegans, and they have no idea that their lifestyle, the things that they push, the things that they advocate are only possible because of the 21st century grocery complex that we have here in America that exists. And that if that goes away, your lifestyle is over. And even if things get difficult, your lifestyle is over. I have said often on my channel, when you push preparedness to its logical conclusion, you will always end up on a homestead. Because if you're going to think about all the things in which you are, in the ways you can be prepared, eventually you're going to come to a point where having your own land in a less densely populated area where you can grow your own food, raise your own animals, and have a lot more of the freedoms and be surrounded by people who believe in those freedoms for the most part and who have their compass, their moral compass somewhat intact. If you live in the cities, that's not going to happen for you. That's not possible. So when you push preparedness to its logical conclusion, you're going to end up on a homestead. Well, listen, I'm here to tell you that if you're a carnivore, if you're a vegan, when you push that lifestyle to its logical conclusion, you're going to also end up on a homestead. And if you're not there, if you're not heading towards that goal, you're going to come up short. If it truly is a lifestyle for you, and I keep seeing these, pictures of this is a lifestyle for me. Let me show you some of the pictures that I've seen. This is the one that set me off the other day, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a video on this. Here's the one from Jack. It says, this is what my weekly shopping cart looks like on the carnivore diet. It's almost the same every week. Any suggestions? Yeah, I've got a suggestion. How about you get on a homestead and grow some of that food yourself? Because if you have chickens, you can get farm fresh eggs. If you have animals, you can get that meat, and I guarantee you it's going to be way, way cheaper. I'd be interested to see your cart or grocery haul if you could attach them as a reply. Yeah, see, my reply would be pictures of my sheep, or pictures of the deer that we're harvesting for hunting season, or buying beef from a local grass-fed, grass-finished farmer, who's local, or the Warclim. I couldn't say. I'll bleep that out post-production. The Warclim. And people always ask, what is Warclim? It's a certain phrase spelled backwards, because I'm not allowed to say it on YouTube, because every time I do, I get demonetized, or my videos get removed, or I get sent nasty grams by the blue-haired, keyboard commandos over at YouTube who just love so much to stalk my channel and tell me things that the CDC says is harmful to all of you, my audience. So I'm not allowed to say certain phrases, but there's lots of people on X who love this stuff. But, it's like you go to a store and you buy it. Why don't you make it you can get your own, cow that produces this stuff for you. And you can make your own butter and you can make your own cheese and you can have that Warclim that, so many people think is harmful for you, but we know is full of great probiotics and has great protein content in it. And so it's like, you're setting yourself up for failure. Let's take a look at another picture. Yes, here's one of the pictures of the Warclim that they purchased. One of the people that I follow on X. I can't see. There's no price on there. I don't know what they paid for it, but I'm sure it was probably more than. I have a relationship with a neighbor who's just down the road, walking distance, and I buy Warclim from her every single week. Here's another photo of some Warclim and kefir. We make our own kefir here, and some butter. We make our own butter here, and I make this from, the Warclim that I buy on a regular basis every week. And this is Zach Strength. This is one of the guys I follow. He's always posting pictures of steaks and eggs and things like that. I think I have another one here. Yeah, here he is. And he's eating, he posts pictures like this all the time. So he's got raw Warclim butter. Let me just say that. Warclim butter. He talks about that all the time. He's got some farm fresh, cage-free eggs that he purchased at the store. And he's got that nice grass-fed, grass-finished, steak sitting right there. And, look at the background. Hey, Zach, I love the stuff you share. I love the things you promote. You promote health and wellness and working out and staying fit. But the problem is you're in the city. You're in the city, buddy. And listen, look at the way the world's going right now. No matter what, we're looking at massive economic troubles. We're $36 trillion in debt. You're not going to be able to get this stuff. The only reason you can get this stuff now is because we have an economy that ships it to you and allows you to buy it. But if that goes away and times do get tough, read a history book, you're not going to be able to get this. So if you are really into this carnivore lifestyle or even vegan lifestyle, you're going to have to push that to its logical conclusion if you wish to continue that lifestyle. Speaking of vegans, let's go ahead and take a look at this image. Plant-based protein sources. Now let's take a look at some of these. The ones that are in the top with have the highest grams of protein per 100 grams. Number one is soybeans. Now most soybeans that are grown in this country, about 99% of them, probably like 95, 99%, almost all of them are GMO, okay? But you can grow your own soybeans. Soybeans will grow in a lot of different places in this country, and you can source your own non-GMO soybeans and then grow those and get that protein if you want. Let's pumpkin seeds. I don't know about hemp seeds, but I mean, probably some states you might get in trouble with that one. But pumpkin seeds, I've grown my own squash here on this homestead. I have a squash. I'm getting ready to I'll roast the pumpkin seeds for the squash. I have one of the pumpkins I have in my kitchen right now tonight. And so that's a great source of protein. And I love growing squash and pumpkins. And I've grown those here before. Lentils, you can grow here. Peanuts, I have grown peanuts. Did really well with that one year. Kidney beans, high source of protein. You can grow that. I've grown that before. So there's a number of things. There's some of the highest grams of protein. But see, if things get tough in this country, you're not going to be able to buy any of this stuff. Most of these vegans that I know, you can be a vegan today in America because you live in America. You can be a carnivore today in America because you live in America. You have this ability to go to the grocery store and buy all these things and buy, like, for instance, you can go buy plants, celery and tomatoes and broccoli and all these things in the middle of January when no one around you is growing them. They're only imported from like Brazil and Mexico and, Guatemala and all these different places down south. But if times get tough, you're not going to be able to get that stuff anymore. It's the same with your meat. If you're a carnivore, you have got to get to a point where if this is a lifestyle for you, I'm going to grow these things on my own, because not only that, you have all of this stuff going on out there in the news of people putting those clotty clot clot shots inside of the things you buy, whether it's plants or meat, and that's the way they're going to give you the clotty clot clot shot. And so now you're almost forced to, in a way to avoid the clotty clot clot shot, by growing your own food. That's the only way you're going to avoid it, is to go out and grow this yourself. Get on a homestead and grow this real food yourself. I don't know how. Again, I get frustrated just by watching some of these people enjoy these lifestyles and realize just how much your lifestyle is teetering on the razor's edge right now. Again, we are watching ICBMs launched into the atmosphere for the first time ever. And we're a country that is definitely going to be facing some hard economic times coming up in the future. We're $36 trillion in debt. You don't get out of that without hyperinflation, because you read a history book that's only solved one way: hyperinflation. Everyone's like, the stock market is going at all-time highs. Yes, look back throughout history. During times pre-hyperinflation, stock markets go through the roof. They always hold their value and go up. Everything is going to go up. Your dollar is becoming worth less. Gold is becoming worth more. Bitcoin's going off the charts. Why? Because these are all alternatives for people to get out of the dollar. Land right now is still going up. Why? Because these are alternatives for people to get out of the dollar. You're going to face some harsh economic realities coming up in the near future. And if you're a vegan or if you're a carnivore, if you're going to push that lifestyle to its logical conclusion, you will end up on a homestead. I'd be thinking about that now and making moves to make it happen. Because if you wait, you're going to be in big, big trouble. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're still in the city, are you a carnivore? Are you a vegan? Vegetarian? Most people aren't really vegetarians anyway. They're like grainitarians because they just buy breads and grains and things like that. And the reality is even that stuff will stop flowing. No, you can't grow enough to be a vegan. Listen, I have a friend of mine, Paul Neeson. Really like that guy. He has his own channel on YouTube, a couple different channels. And, he lives in Miami. Okay. He lives in a subtropical region, of the country. He can be a vegetarian. Most of you don't live in Miami. Most of you do not live in the Florida Keys where things grow year round. Most of you do not live in the Caribbean where things grow year round, which would allow you to be vegetarians. You're a vegetarian solely because of the infrastructure that is right now United States of America and the grocery system that we have. That's what allows you to be those things. Understand that and then take measures to better provide for you and your family. If this is a lifestyle, that's truly what you'll do. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, this video is being sponsored by the OUPES power generator. Right now, I'm doing a contest over at patreon.com where some of our guys are curing their legs of meat, lamb, sheep, goat, pig, if you do that, venison. And we're going to have a contest, and whoever sends me the best picture of their cured leg is going to win a power generator, and it's going to probably be an OUPES. But the OUPES company right now, because they're doing all this Black Friday stuff, long before it's Black Friday, but they're getting it started now because it is coming up. You're saving so much money. If you've been in the market for a power generator, there is information below to get you over to those savings. Get to those savings. There's tons of money you can be saving right now. Now is the time to be buying a power generator. And with all of these ICBMs and EMP stuff going on right now would be a great time. All the talk in the media, now would be a great time to be having one of those systems. For the OUPES, I have the Titan 5 for the home backup. And then I have the Mega 3 for my ham radio communications backup over here. I've done videos before on that. In fact, there's a whole playlist of communications, ham radio, GMRS stuff, antenna stuff, how I have my system rigged up over at patreon.com/American Homestead. If you're interested in watching those videos, I have butchering videos and all kinds of other stuff over there at patreon.com. Link in the description below. But the OUPES, if you can just go to my website, at AmericanHomestead.com, you can find the OUPES banner ad. Click on that. It'll take you to where you can get the savings, and I'll have some links for that also in the description below. All right, love you guys. I'll see you next time at the Homestead. Bye. One of the best perks about living off-grid is that I never pay an electric bill. I love being my own power company, but that means when things go wrong, I have to be the one on call. So I try and use reliable components for my power production. For the last couple of years, I have been promoting OUPES solar generators. I've been using them and abusing them, and as it turns out, they are pretty good products. They have power generators for all occasions, and they can be charged by permanent or portable solar panels, as well as AC power. They offer true lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this is important. Recently, a family in my area had a different brand that uses the less stable nickel manganese cobalt or NMC type batteries. The unit caught fire in the middle of the night. It was a scary situation and it caused damage to the home, but thankfully nobody was hurt. The generator, as you can see, was a total loss. This drives home the point on why it's so important to employ solar generators like the OUPES brand that uses the much more safe and stable technology of lithium iron phosphate, otherwise called LiFePO4. They offer small generators for travel or for powering an entire home and everything in between. These are great backups to have in a medical emergency or to power a freezer full of your favorite meat products, or as I have shown in past videos, for even backup AC and DC power sources for ham radio communications. If the grid goes down, you're going to be thankful you have one of these units. You can find the link in the description of this video or click on the banner ad found on the front page of our website at AmericanHomestead.com. Right here, that banner ad right there on AmericanHomestead.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.